this video, I'm gonna talk about how to spot a scammer, right? So this is gonna be a series I'm gonna do. So basically, I'm telling you how to recognize a scammer and how you can tell if somebody's a scammer. So number one, because I made this video. First, I'm gonna tell you why I made this video. So I made this video because the field that I'm in, like, it attracts a lot of people, scammers, because I guess it's because it's numbers, right? And you make people money. So a lot of people, they think, oh, just because it deals with anything that deals with money, it attracts scammers, right? So I'm gonna tell you how to spot a scammer. So number one, so doesn't know a skill in detail. So they don't know a skill in detail. So it's up to you to know what you're dealing with when you approach anybody in business. And I'm saying it nowadays because nowadays you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know who the person really is, right? So they don't know their skill in detail. So another one, questions are the answers, right? So if you know what you're dealing with, if you know what you're hiring somebody for, and you know a little bit about it, then you can ask the right questions and they can't explain it in detail. So boom, scammer radar goes off, right? You should look at all of this as like a scammer sensor, right? Don't just go with one, go with all of them and then put them together and you can find it. So, right, it says, here's another one. So they say yes to everything. So they're like, if you ask for something, they're like, yes. And they're like, yes. And they're like, yes. They're like, yes. They don't say no to anything. It's probably a scammer, right? They're giving you what you think you want. So they say yes to everything. Okay, number 4, no documentation. They have no documentation behind what they do. They avoid documentation as much as possible because the documentation is what's reportable, right, to the courts. So that's the one thing they don't want. They want to shy as far away from the court as they can. So no documentation. That's a number 4, how to spot a scammer. Number 5, no website. So they don't have any website, because a website you have to register, you can report it. It has data behind it. It has a name attached to it. It has an email attached to it. It's documentation to an extent, right? Of course, you can cover things on a website, but still, it shows that they're willing to invest, right? So you're thinking, okay, if they got a website, okay, now they're another level of scammer. Even if you have a scammer sense, it's like, oh, he has a website, so okay. Now you think, okay, number 5. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 6, we got no phone calls. So they're not going to talk to you on the phone. That's another sign of a scammer. If you're like, oh, can we have a meeting? Can we do this? And they're like, no, we can't talk on the phone. We can't. And it's like, boom, scammer radar goes off. Because that phone, you can record the call, you can report the call, you can do anything with the call. So they're going to stay away from that. They're going to be like, no, we don't, because now you can report that, right? That goes back to no documentation. Say yes to everything, and they don't know the skill in detail. A person that knows a skill in detail, they're ready to jump on the phone, right? They're like, yes, let's get on the phone so we can talk about it. But a scammer's like, oh, no, let's just text. I got something to do or something. Like, they make up excuses. So names don't match. So their name doesn't match, right? Oh, this is this, and then the email is that, and then the number is this, and then, oh, we go to this, like, scammer, right? No reviews, names don't match. Names don't match documentations. Scammer. No No alignment, right? So nothing aligns with what they do, right? The social media is different than this, and this is different than that. The website is different than that. Now, if they're in a business where that's like common, like even for me to post a video like this on Instagram, they might ban me, right? So you're like, okay, if he don't have an Instagram, you're like, okay, because he's talking about how to spot a scammer, right? So of course Instagram will be like, oh, we don't accept that type of things. He might be a scammer, so they'll ban me. So you can understand that. But if they say, oh, we do design or this or that, and they don't have no design, or they got like, you see this on Fiverr a lot. Like you see people like, oh, I give you traffic or I give you this, and then they show you like a blurry screenshot or something that don't even match. That's a scammer. It's a scammer. They don't have no proof of what they done or nothing. It's just words. And then they just repeat it over and over again. And it's mostly Nigerian. Let me put that on there. Nigerian. If it says Nigerian, right? No offense to Nigerians, but from my experience, when you see this, radar goes off because they're just more likely to be a scammer. Because yeah, if you see a Nigerian, they got like 20 or 25 stars, yeah, they're good. They're like on a great level. But if you see that and it's like, no, and it's like they got one review and then they got like 10 other services with the same name, but the one has one review, and boom, it's a scammer, right? So I'm gonna remove that because I don't want to offend Nigerians, but y'all know, they know. I ain't gotta explain it. So not aligned, can't explain it effectively. No real details, no proper invoicing. So they don't do invoicing. So they're gonna be like, oh no, we don't do PayPal. Oh no, we don't do Stripe. No, we don't do this. We do Bitcoin. Scam. This is a scammer. If they don't do any proper invoicing, anything you can print out and report, then it's a scammer. It's a scammer. Just don't even debate it. Just go to somebody else. It's a scammer. If you're in need of something that bad where you can't go to somebody else for it, then just don't do it. So no proper invoicing and avoids paperwork. If they avoid paperwork, scammer. Scammer. So this is how to spot a scammer. This is gonna be a series because they always do new things, and I stay on them because me being in the business I'm in, like, you're just gonna naturally attract them because you're dealing with Google and Facebook, like advertising. So that's just something an AdWords specialist or specialist, they have to log in, and then they have to put the budget in. So all the budgeting has to match. You got to send reports. You got to print reports, right? A scammer, they're not doing any of that. As soon as they hear report, they're out. When they hear the word report, they're like, oh no, we don't deal with reports. Anything report black and white related, they're out. They don't want nothing to do with it. So that's how to spot a scammer.